Hello everybody, my name is Evaldas. I'm from Evaldas Technical Support Department. I will be presenting you today an identification of non-defecting devices. Today I will be speaking about ESIM384 security panel. Today's content, what you will be hearing. So I will mention the basic steps that you must take a note once you arrive at the customer premises who's having the inoperative security panel. Also, what are the tests that must be done in order to make sure if we are having a KB2 keypad is not operating correctly. Another issue, if we are having and using a wired siren connected with LD security panel, the wired siren does not sound or sound constantly. Two other cases, ESIM384 doesn't start once powered up, and what to do if it has any of components damaged. I think everyone knows the answer for that one. Also, I will be mentioning the things that must be checked in order if we are having the backup battery that it's not charging by the security panel, and if any of auxiliary equipment doesn't work. So firstly, once you're arriving at the customer premises, that is who is having an issue with ESIM384 security panel, firstly what you must do is to visually inspect the PCB board itself. So firstly you must check if there are no visible mechanical damage on the PCB plate. Mechanical damage might be any cracks on the PCB board, twists on the PCB, or any damage with screwdrivers, for example, or something like that. Also, if you can see any burnt tracks, twisted or burnt components on the panel, you must firstly check these kind of issues on the PCB itself. If you detected any of these issues, nothing else what could be done by you. You should instantly take out the security panel and send it to the service to fix it. Also, please take a note. If you are if you are coming into the customer premises who is having any of above specified issues, and the security panel is powered off, do not try to power on the device because you might even more damage it if any of visible mechanical damages are allocated. Now, another thing, if you receive at the customer premises and you can see the dirty or dusty devices, that also might be one of the cases that causing the ESIM384 panel doesn't work properly. So what you must do is to clean the PCB board itself from any dust or dirt. You can use a liquid PCB board cleaner, gently clean the PCB and try to start the PCB board itself again to test it if it works. We are constantly receiving the multiple devices that are named and specified as completely not working to the RME department, that are covered in dusts only. So after cleaning the PCB, the device starts itself. So cleaning the PCB will last up to 2 minutes and might save quite a huge amount of time if we would need to send the device physically to the service to get it fixed and receive it back. Also, what you always have to do is to check if the firmware is updated to the latest version on your ESIM384 security panel. Always make sure to do that. If you have a possibility, once you receive at the customer premises, you can use the photo function. In that case, security panel must be active and working correctly. If you can't use the photo function, you can update the firmware via USB cable. So let's move forward to more specific examples. What to do if we having an AKBDO keypad not operating correctly. Just a short reminder, AKBDO keypad is the wired keypad that is covered in glass. Okay, so the signs of the fault might be as specified there. So you might not see any kind of descriptions on the screen of AKBDO keypad. Once you power up the power on ESIM384 security panel, the keypad might start beeping constantly. You might not be able to access the programming or getting into installer code with AKBDO keypad. If you power on the ESIM384 security panel, the security panel might hang out and get self-restarted once the wired keypad is connected. Another common issue that you would be able to detect if the backlight lights is only that is shining on AKBDO keypad. There are absolutely no words, no information specified on the screen of the AKBDO. You can only see the backlight on the keypad itself. You can press the buttons, so you can hear the sound, but nothing appears on the screen. So there are the checking steps, what you might check before identifying the issue. If it's located in ESIM384 security panel, if it's located in the AKBDO keypad, or it's located in between them. It's the wired cable between the security panel and the keypad. So firstly, in all the cases that will be specified today that you will be hearing, 3 steps are all the common. So firstly, what you must do is to disconnect any cables from the ESIM384 security panel, leaving only the main power supply cable connected. All other cables must be out. The second thing, restore the security panel to default settings. Reminder, restoring security panel to default settings will erase and delete all the configuration that was done before. So before doing that, save the configuration that is currently installed on ESIM384 security panel. That will save a huge amount of time. You will not be needed to perform all the configuration step by step. You will only need to update the firmware, upload the configuration file that was created before, and save the settings. The third step, as mentioned before, update the firmware up to the latest version. All the information, how the firmware could be updated locally via USB and how the restoration of default parameters can be done, can be found on the manual or on the frequently asked questions on the webpage. If all these 3 steps are done, the 4th step is to check either the connectors that are specified in here in the picture has a 3.3 volts voltage in between them. You can use a multiplier to check this, to check the voltage, and the voltage might be around 3.3 volts. If the voltage is significantly higher or lower, or there are no voltage at all, ESIM384 panel must be repaired and must be sent to the service. If the voltage is all okay, we're having 3.3 volts, the issue is somewhere else. So what you have to do else is to use disconnect the AQB2 keypad that is currently connected with the cable. Get a new short cable, for example, 1 meter, half a meter, what it takes on your installation, and using a new cable, connect security panel with the keypad. If keypad with a new cable will start working correctly, the issue is with an old wired that keypad was using before. If the new cable connected with the panel and the keypad has no issues, has no effects, the keypad performed the same action. The issue is on the AQB2 keypad, and that one should be sent to the service. Moving forward, next common example, wired siren. If you are using for the ESIM384 panel, doesn't sound at all or constantly sounding the alarm. So that's of the main sign of fault. So checking steps for that one. Are following. So also, all the cables must be disconnected, connect only main power supply to the ESIM384 panel. Restoring to the default parameters and update the firmware with the latest version. Now, power on the ESIM384 panel and check if spot marked in the picture is getting hot or warm. In the normal security panel work, this component should be normal temperature, cold even, I would think so. I would say so. If it's getting if it's hot or you can feel warm and more than normal warming, you should send the panel to the service for fixing. If this component is normal temperature, you should also check the voltage on the bell plus and bell minus connectors, as they are specified right here. The voltage should be 3.5 volts. If the voltage is different significantly or short circuit, the eSIM should be sent to the repair. If it's not, if it's the voltage okay, the component, its all temperature is normal, the fault is not on ESIM384 panel. Here in yellow color, I marked the most short tip, short help, practical help. A common mistake that we are receiving on our ERMA service, that due to short connection of wired siren wires, siren seems doesn't have any power supply. So that's quite a common issue. So additionally, what you can do is to check, to measure the voltage between the bell plus and any COM terminal. The voltage should be between 30 to 40 volts. If it is, the issue is not with ESIM384 panel. So you might also check the cable that's connecting the panel with the siren. If the cable is all okay, the issue is in the siren. Okay, another two topics are pretty much easy to identify and quite understandable what to do with them. If the ESIM384 doesn't start once powered up, network or status LED is not, indicators are not blinking or lighting up. If any smoke comes up from the panel or fuse constantly burning up, you should instantly power off the security panel and send it to the service to repair it. Same what if you are receiving panel with any component damaged visually that you can detect. So you don't need to perform any changes, any component changes by yourself. Send it to RMA for our technical departments to fix it. Another quite common issue that customers are sending the ESIM384 panels to us, identifying that the panel is broken, not working for them. However, it looks quite differently for us in our RMA department, is if the backup battery is not charging. So the customers always seeing the low battery fault right here. Or for example, the identification of that issue might be that backup battery contacts are short circuit constantly. So checking steps, first three are common as were before. Now the fourth point, power up the ESIM384 and check if spot marked here doesn't get warm or hot. If it is, send it to the service to get ESIM384 panel for repair. If the spot doesn't get warm, check the voltage on the accumulator contacts. That's marked right here. The voltage should be between 30 to 40 degrees. Also, take a note, if you had just your panel powered off and you power it on, you should wait approximately for 1 minute for voltage to get on these contacts. So let's wait for 1 minute after powering up the ESIM384 panel. Check the voltage. If the voltage doesn't appear or the voltage completely different between 13 to 40 volts, you should also send the panel to the service for repair. If the voltage is all okay, connect the new backup battery. Check how it works. Once the new battery that is charged connected, disconnect the main power supply of ESIM384 panel. If the panel will be continuing for work, the issue was most likely located with old or not very quality backup battery, not with ESIM384 security panel. Also, marked here in yellow, a technical tip, a common mistake that we are receiving on our RMA department is that the backup battery is being connected incorrectly. As you can see here, where I'm marking with my mouse, there is a backup battery contacts, and there is not very clearly visible, but there are accumulator indication with plus and a minus. So make sure you connect the correct backup battery plus to the plus on the ESIM384 panel to keep the security system working properly. If you connect the new battery and you might notice that you have connected the backup battery incorrectly, that's not a big issue if you instantly see that and change back the wires to the correct order. If you would leave the backup battery connected with for more than 1 hour, that might damage the security panel, and only the service of RMA department might fix the issue. The last one of the top issues that we are receiving from our customers in our RMA department is auxiliary equipment doesn't work that is connected on ESIM384 security panel. So signs of faults might be that ones, followings. There are no voltage at all on the aux plus and the aux minus contacts. Both of these contacts are short circuit, or other devices that are connected to the aux plus and aux minus are not working. the devices, any wired sensor, ELAN3 module, zone expander, and you name it. The checking steps and the checking procedure. 3 steps. I'm not repeating that once. You already know. Just make sure you perform these 3 actions firstly. Now, firstly, regarding this kind of issue, check press and check the temperature of the marked component right here. It should be not warm at all. It should be normal temperature without any warming or getting even hot. If it's get warm or hot, send the ESIM384 panel for the repair. If the spot doesn't get warm, check the voltage between aux plus and aux minus contacts. That should be between 30 to 40 volts. If the voltage doesn't appear, or the voltage or the contacts are short circuit, send ESIM to the repair. If the voltage is good, connect any new device or any one device to the aux plus and aux minus contacts and check how it works. If it does, the issue is with the wires and the old cables or old wired devices, and not with the ESIM384 security panel. So changing the cables might fix the issue without sending the security panel for fixing. So these are the most common steps and most common issues that we are receiving to our RMA department with the faults that are being indicated by our customers, but they can be easily solved. So in most of the cases, in these cases that I just specified for you, all the issues are easily fixed by simply resetting the panel to the default settings and updating the firmware. Plugging out all the cables and checking if panel works correctly saves a huge amount of time that you would need to send the security panel to the seller, for seller to send it to us, to our RMA department, to fix the panel and send it to you. So within 5 to 10 minutes, you can easily check the panel if it's working correctly on your customer premises. Save time for you too. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be seeing you later on later video recordings. Good luck, and you can always find more information on eldasalarms.com, our webpage. So thanks for watching, and bye-bye.